Sorry, I only realized after I finished speaking that we still have a document to go through with everyone. Let's continue now. It's a bit funny, but no worries, it doesn't matter much. Actually, it's not just about simply copying these DLLs and resources here, that's fine. You can also copy images, audio, and even copy an EXE or some other custom programs. None of that is a problem. It's just that if you consider an EXE, you just can't sell it. Loop the marketplace, for example, some person, or things like that. Anyway, just keep that in mind yourself. Also, there's an icon here. If anyone wants to change their own icon, it's right here. Just replace this icon, and it's should be 128 times 128 pixels. You can take a screenshot like this. Take a screenshot like this. Make it 128 times 128. Then an image like this comes out, right? Let's just open a plugin here. For example, we opened one. You see this plugin. If we just open anyone, let's open this one. Yes, and actually when you package it, there's also a config. Let me explain this one too. This config, it can be used to do some. When you package the plugin, it can pack these assets into it for you. Right, that's what I mean. You see, when I package the plugin, I just have it include these resources. Why do I need to have it include these resources? Because if you don't write it after packaging, it won't have these resources, because you'll find that our code is all written in the master, so it's fine, no problem. If it's this place, I wrote a resource here. If you don't write this thing, when you package it, this text won't be included. These are some Kit6 direct mapping resources. Okay, this pixel is 128 by 128. It should be 28 by 28. It seems to have closed quickly again here. Find it here, approximately. Let me think about this one too. Here, Tygun. Yes, speaking. Okay, you can see there's a property here, right? Good detailed information. 128 into 128. Okay, then next, let's work on our document. Because there is another detail in the document about how to solve the Windows library caching issue, we can take a look at the document. It's about integrating third-party libraries into the Unreal Engine. So it has some dependency considerations, standard edition mode, and it's written in a very formal style. This part is the engine. It says disposition. We've explained this to you many times. And this is the third-party plugin template. You can use the template. Then here are some settings inside. Then here some reds are added. You through public deflation. You can add one here. Your own such red. Then you can add the plugins, such an include path. Then here is to import libraries or static libraries. Look at this public edition, nary libraries. Then pay attention. There is a detail to note here. You can see here. Actually here, there is a public library, and this place is DL. You see it also has a static, some libraries. That is to say, there are actually many other ways. But these are enough for us for now. You can zoom in a bit. Hey, let's finish watching. There are also some here. Right. Click in and look at this comment. Okay. Then we'll talk about it later. But just know in your mind that this thing exists, and this place is the location of the build.cs file. Then this external, its meaning is to inform the engine, not to look up or compile the source code. By adding the listed include paths to the compilation environment, set the related red and associate it with the given static library. It will use other settings defined in this file. Then this is a dynamic library. Actually, it is what we often call a DLL. Then through gate del handle method, it can manually trigger the loading of the DLL explicitly. Didn't we just demonstrate explicit loading in the previous two slides? But it actually has implicit loading. Yes, it actually will. And it will resolve dependencies into the entire implicit search path table. Then it will load privately. You'll see that we also place DLLs next to the exe. It will also be loaded. Then if a new DLL is loaded, if a DLL with the same name exists, it will be associated with that DLL, and a new module will be loaded on the new hard drive. Then this thing is very useful. Then this part is a delayed load. That is, if the engine exists in the DLL, when it cannot be received, one method is delayed loading. That is, you may need to manually control the loading. Then you must load this DLL before calling it. Correct. Then this is a delayed load. This part of ours is more formal. Generally, these C++ experts often troubleshoot some DL issues that conflict with each other. They will study these things. We don't need to study them. Just ignore all of these. And this is the Mac for DL. And this is the DL for latency. We'll just ignore this Mac. We'll skip Linux directly. And for Android, we can also directly, for Android, so take a look, skip Linux. We'll skip Android too. Android actually is also through writing Java. Just to remove the Java function names. Writing Java methods, everyone continue to look at Android development. We will skip this part. As for how to build an Android package, we have tutorials on Bilibili. You can just search for it. I used version 5.32. Many of you should be able to refer to my video. To build the Android package, this tutorial series does not cover Android, and this part is runtime dependency. Runtime dependency, it is equivalent to making a copy at runtime. You see, you can pass a few more parameters here. You can pass the first parameter here, or the second one. We shouldn't pass it like this. We'll just pass only one parameter. We've already demonstrated the function of this to everyone. We won't practice this one. Okay, then this troubleshooting. This is very important. This is extremely important. Most of the time when you include some libraries, some people, the library just won't work. Because when it comes to the engine or the library itself, often does some very nasty things. It just directly uses some UI and things like that, then use it as a namespace. Congratulations. In UE, of course, there is this UI namespace. We have this txt macro, then other libraries also have this namespace. Or Windows has this macro. Then you can't use it in UE5. So is there a way to use it? We often fight with the Windows SDK, fight with the VS toolchain. Then we need to solve this problem. We can temporarily block the already registered macro, temporarily disable it. Then when writing this code, after writing this code, we then pour in some default threads. So how do we do it? Actually, you can do this through this Windows, including this HHWATEPR macro to include it, because many functions of Windows are defined as blah 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 and so on. If you explicitly call windows.h with this macro, problems will occur. Then you should call this Unreal Engine variant that was made for you, especially since these macros are not portable. Issues like redefining values. So here you are essentially first allowing this Windows or loss, that is, generally allow the use of these native Windows things. Then we assign this value. After assigning, we block this thing. Just write it like this. Similarly, there is a section here, this Windows red conflict. Similarly, you have a naming conflict here. Then you can allow it here. Some of its things, after writing, then hide it again. Okay, so there is no problem with this. Then we can take a look at a section, the stated code. This part is actually to explain to everyone. This thread looks familiar, right? This thread we have encapsulated. Klaxons wake up, and then in this place. We will also find we wrote all three here. And then wrote all three here. And then we included these things in this segment, that is this place. These three allow the use of Windows. And then included all this stuff. And then at the end of this file, we just let it hide all these things. Because it thinks I missed a little something here. But it seems fine, so just leave it. Right, okay. So actually, this is where, because there will be a conflict. That is, there is no conflict when I use it now. The reason for the conflict, all hidden versions. Because from the very beginning, we made it clear to everyone about the VS2022 and Windows SDK issue. Some people might be using VS2019, and then the Windows SDK has such different issues which will trigger compilation errors. So in our case here, that's how it's done. I'll demonstrate it to you when there's a chance. Anyway, that's it. You need to include this file because we are using this code is from iFlyTech. It's from the package it downloaded. These are all native Windows things. It captures the audio stream. Captures audio, it uses Windows APS. It can only be used on Windows. Actually, when we develop our later plugins, we use Unreal, the Unreal Engine. That audio stream captured this thing. So we can cross-platform. Okay, the code here is not recommended. I won't go into detail. Everyone just knows that here, you will encounter this problem. You can check this document when the time comes. The location of this document is here. Here, this Unreal, inside this compilation tools third-party library. And there is an OpenSL here. As for OpenL, we often use this for encryption. Actually, the engine has already integrated OpenSL. We'll explain it to you later. You'll know when you use it. There are several versions of OpenSL. There are versions 1.1 or 3.1. If you import this OpenSL yourself, there will be errors and conflicts. You can directly use the engine's version, and this place can tell you how to suppress them. And this defaults to some packaging alignment issues. And these are TTI Linux issues. We won't worry about them, because these are more about C++ low-level details. Okay, so this chapter is really over. Then we still have a few practical chapters later. You need to consolidate everyone's understanding. So if you feel a bit confused listening to these sections now, no problem at all. Let's do 2 more projects. Do tuition projects, then everyone will be very clear. So don't worry, this part is difficult. That's perfectly normal. This is intermediate to advanced knowledge. It's not beginner knowledge anymore. Thank you, everyone. We'll stop here.